Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton.
Charles and then Lewis. All right, well, we can start with Lewis since we already have kind of like a basic idea.
I think for me, school was probably the most traumatizing and most difficult part of my life.
Wow.
I already was being bullied at the age of 6. I think at the time, that particular school, I was probably one of 3 kids of color, and just bigger, stronger, bullying kids were throwing me around a lot of the time. I was always the last picked in when you're standing in the playground and you're in the line of when they're picking teams for football, I was always the last one chosen or not even chosen, even if I was better than somebody else. And then the constant jabs, the things that are either thrown at you like bananas, or people that would use the M word just so relaxed. People calling you half-caste and, just really not knowing where you fit in. That for me was difficult. When you then go into like history class and everything you learn in history, there are no people of color in the history that they were teaching us. So I was thinking, oh, well, where are the people that look like me? And I mean, for me, in my school, there was only around 7, maybe 6, 7 black kids out of 1,200 kids. And 3 of us were put outside the headmaster's office all the time. The headmaster just had it out for us, and particularly for me, I would say. So like just juggling all these different emotions that you're feeling. Plus I struggled at school. I didn't find out till I was 16 that I was dyslexic. Fortunately, I came across a teacher that was actually caring and took me down that road and helped me discover a little bit more about myself and how I can better myself through education. But I think that for me was tough. Also, because I was racing every weekend, I would leave on the Thursday night. We would travel, pack up the motorhome. We would travel around the country to race on the weekends. And no one else knew. When I'd go back to school, all the kids have done normal things on the weekend. And I'll come back and say I was racing, and people would be like, "Oh, I've done that before," like at the theme park or something.
So I'm gonna say like already, it's like he's attached type as a pillar. Just the way he's communicating sounds very attached to me. He's not detached. And I can see a lot of like feeling, but also sensation. So it's one of the 2 is the pillar so far. I don't think he's an intuitive type.
I mean, from just his dialogue, how he's just focusing on tangible things, and I'm actually leaning introverted over extroverted more so.
I think
so
he's
far.
an introvert. I think he's an introvert. He's not an extrovert.
Yeah, it seems like there's more like a narration happening so far with him, more so than not.
I think constraint narrator makes more sense because it is a lot of like the narrative of his life so far is what he's talking about. Which, given he was asked about his life and stuff, but he's going through like a lot of things that like meant something to him, and then also were like played a big part of his worldview.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
I'm gonna jump around a bit.
Parent. So that's where I feel like I learned a lot of compassion and empathy. That's where I feel like I get it from her. And my dad was that strong, like kind of stronger rock, and also just someone that looked like me and just he would say, "Do your talking on the track. Don't be distracted by it. Don't listen to what they're saying. Do your driving on the track and show. Let's just be quiet," to kind of help me put.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of process that as time's gone on. And was there a time when it was unhealthy and difficult, and has it got better, or is it something you're always working on?
So on one side of things, I struggled at school, as I said. So the teachers would write these reports that I was not focused or I wasn't doing well. And I remember the fear of that report every year. And I'd try so hard to do well. And then these teachers, I don't know if teachers out there realize when they write those reports, what's happening back at home, whether you have an abusive household or, the stress of that was difficult. I feel in racing, if I would win, I could see a smile on my dad's face, and it was really like, okay, if I do well at this, I know that I'll be accepted, but I've got to work double hard to be. I've got to always be first. I always laugh about the whole, if you're not first, you're last. Because I'm literally, whilst that's obviously I've not been first my whole life, first was everything.
Yeah.
In order to be accepted, in order to fit in, and maybe to be appreciated. Not only within my relationship perhaps with my dad, but then also around my friends. And it wasn't until I got older I realized it's about the bigger picture. But when you have success, it's so short-lived. It's like, it really is really short-lived. You win a race, then you go back home and you have as a racing driver, you know, the weekend's so intense, you've seen it. There's so much energy, so much, it's really, really a stressful environment for everyone that's working within it. Then you go home and there's a huge come down like 1 or 2 days later, and you're trying to balance those emotions, that emotional roller coaster, and learning to kind of channel that and figure out ways to keep it balanced with your routine and those sorts of things has been really key for me. But I think during the last few years, really understanding that it's about the bigger picture. I'm fighting for something far greater than winning a race. I'm really fighting for change in the world. You know, we're more divided.
Okay.
No, I think to me, I'm kind of leaning more TIFE over TFI.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah,
I'm not seeing any TE at all. Like at all. There's definitely a lot of like feeling function, feeling judgment going on, but there's no TE to go paired with it. But there is some TI there going on. So I think he's more FETI.
Right. The expression is also there too, which is FE, and how he goes about it doesn't seem combative at all, or seem like it's like imbalanced. As the pillar or the shard, it just seems like he's more comfortable with how he's handling judgment.
He's kind of going to guide through extension, like through the vortex. So he's going to guide through that, and he's really putting his, you know, what he's gone through and stuff like that, his narration of his life. So sensation, he's constraint narrator with life experiences and concrete, tangible examples, and then also his reasoning for things. He's explaining through FE, like what should be right for the collective and most people. I think that speaks more towards his type.
Yeah, what you don't hear from him is ideation.
Yeah, I don't hear any ideation at all.
No, right. And what's a constraint narrator who utilizes TI will have a form of ideation with their intuition. What you're not hearing is NI as well. You're hearing more of a tangible narrative, as you said, and he's expressing through FE.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, we'll jump around a little bit more to just get more data on him, but then like I'm pretty sure we were both thinking about him being SI TI beforehand too. Like we were like either SI FI or SI TI, but I don't see any TE. He's not doing a natural guiding. It's definitely an expression guidance going on, where FE is the expression function, and he's connecting to guide through SI and FE. All right, I'm going to continue on.
Than ever, I would say. It's devastating. I can't watch the news. It's devastating.
Was there a point at which number one didn't satisfy you, or was there a point at which the success that came from it, or you didn't actually have to get dissatisfied, you just found that there was a better way to be successful? Does that make sense?
The part that was striking when you're just saying that, for me, it was like I feel like we often live in fear of what people think. How you're going to be judged, how you're going to be received. If you're very outspoken, you're going to lose your job, you're going to be fired. I've always been an outspoken person. I think that's just been a quality. I've never been a follower. I don't like to conform to how people expect, what people expect from you. As I said, I was having a success, and I was like, okay, now I'm at the top. What can I do with it?
Yeah.
And there are so many causes. There's so many problems out there, and there's so many amazing causes. And which one, there's only one of you. So like, where do you put the focus? And it took a long, long time to really find what that was for me. I think for me, education was something that I felt extremely passionate about, because I'd been out to India, I'd been out into some of the really poorest places like Manila, and seeing young kids who are like us, but begging for food and not having the same opportunities. And for me, that broke my heart, and realized how privileged we are and how fortunate we are. I was like, I want to be working with people out there that are trying to create more. There's over 100 million kids that don't have access to school education. So how can I get involved in that?
His NE is definitely like an anchor right now. It would be NE for his humbled. It would be NEFE, right? Politician. That's right. He's in Vortex right now, at least at this time. So he's not combative. He's actually in his humbled. When it comes up, because he's thinking about like the politician thing of NE, like what are the different ways, the possibilities that we can help people and stuff like that. And but it's first and foremost, he's going back and forth between like building, guiding, and then dreaming of like a better future.
On the back end, in the midst of adding FE through the transformative fix. So the reason why it's transformative is because that's exactly what it does. It kind of like Kickstarter to the anchor function, which is NE for him. Yeah. So that opposing politician, as you said, is being thrown in the mix. And but he's building the whole time. Yeah,
it's not ideation, it's building and dreaming and guiding.
He's pretty clear. He's pretty consistent in every video that you see.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's pretty clear that he's the legislator archetype. All right. Well, then let's move on. What was the guy's name? Charles
L.E.
Huh? L.E. L.E. Claire, like that?
See?
Oh, like
yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, perfect. This guy.
A Ferrari Formula 1 driver, that's all I dreamed for. In all of the difficult moments, I always...
When I was researching, as I do for all my guests, I can listen to interviews, I'll read articles. You haven't done a lot of interviews. You don't talk so much about things publicly. I was wondering, why did you feel now was the right time and this was the right platform?
You've got something special in all the different interviews you do. I think you get out the best out of the people, and it's something very special. Of course, we do lots of interviews, but they are mostly based on our racing career, of course, which I'm very happy to speak of and about all the time. But it's good also to get to know the person behind the steering wheel. In our case, we always have a helmet as well, so it's difficult to put a face on the name sometimes. And I think it's a great way to maybe show a bit of myself.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for trusting me. And I want to say how grateful I am that you allowed us to have this conversation.
Is it wrong for me to have an opinion this early?
I have an opinion too.
He had a really good introduction. That was
good. I'm like, he's already extroverted. Extroverted. I don't think he's introverted yet. What, you think he's introverted?
No, I think he's extroverted clearly, but just like the energetic, sometimes it's just easy.
Yeah, but, I'm not sure which one I'm thinking he is yet, but I think he's a perception lead. Maybe
FITE.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm like thinking he could be. So far, I'm thinking maybe NE. I'm not sure if he's NEFE or NEFTE or. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
I want to ask you, what would you have been if you weren't a race car driver?
Oh, good question to start with. Probably an architect. I love design in general. I wouldn't have been good enough to be an artist, but definitely an architect. I love architecture in general. It's another passion of mine. So yeah, probably an architect.
Nice. And do you think that some of that passion has helped with being a Formula One racer, with the engineering, the understanding of the car, the design? Do you think that's transferred or not really?
Not really, because obviously with my career I had to stop quite early school to put myself into and having the best chances in order to succeed in that sport. You need to very early on taking crucial decisions, and my parents were always very supportive of that, which obviously helped me as well. But so I didn't do the study to get to being an architect or close of being an architect, but it's always something that interested me. So no, it did not help my racing career, but it's definitely something that I would like to look at once my career is done, to maybe be able to do something there.
Don't speak too soon. We don't need you. You've got many years ahead of you, so we'll put that out into the far future. When you first had the experience of driving your first ever race car as a young boy, I believe you were like 4 years old.
Yes, 3.5.
3.5. Walk us through what you remember. What was the first time you remember driving a car and you remember how you felt, and what was that feeling like?
Well, first of all, I started by total coincidence. I was a kid, 3.5 years old. I didn't want to go to school that day. And I said my father I was ill, and he believed me. By coincidence, he had to go and see his best friend, which owned a karting track. So I got in the car with him, went there, and then I was seeing the karting going around the track, and I was asking, can I try? But obviously at 3.5 years old, there are not really any karts made for a 3.5 years old kid. But luckily for me, the owner, which was Jules Bianchi's father, Philippe Bianchi, had a karting made for his son when he was 3.5. So there was everything ready. And I tried for the first time there. And I remember the first lap, they attached a rope to my karting, and there was an adult driving in front of me just to make sure that I will be able to turn, etc. And after the first lap, we took off the rope, and I went on until there was no fuel left. So it was an amazing feeling. Straight away, I enjoyed the feeling of being in control of a karting at such a young age. Was something very amazing to experience, and I love the adrenaline that it gave me. So it was definitely a very special moment. I cannot remember it because I was too young, but at the same time I've got images that my father had done of this day, which gives you back a bit the feeling of the day.
I'm already leaning F5 simulation.
Yeah, I'm seeing like
more so
that too. I want to jump around a bit though. I'm leaning towards that too. Like ideation.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's like ideating or building initially yet as an extrovert, but
he was just talking about a time when he was a kid, so it was a very pointed question and he gave a pointed answer, but we'll see what happens.
In your career, because you start in karting, where there you are spending a lot of days on track, but it's always a track that is very close to your house. So even though you travel or you spend a lot of time in the car to get to the track, you are racing all day, you come back at home in the evening, it's still quite easy in a way because it's all very close. Then you get to single seaters, Formula 4, Formula 3, Formula 2, where you've got to travel a bit more all around Europe, I'll say. But you've only got like 12, 13 races to do in a year, so it's still not too much. It takes a lot of time, of course, but it's still not too much. And then you get to Formula 1 and it's 24 races now all over the world, and in between the races you also got to do a lot of events, sponsorship events for the preparation of the races. I'm going in the simulator in Maranello, so lots of things
this is building right now what he's doing.
Yeah, it sounds like building. He could be SCT.
Yeah, then this happened, then that happened, then there's details there that he's observing. And
it could be the detachment. It's the TE part. That could be the TE.
Like because it just seems so far it seems like building. It's not ideation yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen any ideation either. So he could either be he could be builder to, well, we'll see if he goes to guide, where he goes.
The guide,
Let's see what happens.
Adding up, which makes it a season that is extremely tiring, and especially when we get to the end of the season like it is now, it is more and more difficult. But then it's all about trying to plan the things better. I arrived the first year in Formula 1.
Actually happens during a race to you, like what's going through your body and mind?
The sleep for me is the number one priority. It is so incredibly important. Is where obviously you rest and recover all the energy in the body that you need, and it's something super important. So on that, I'm super strict. I'm a good sleeper. I probably sleep around 10, 11 hours a night. So
Wow.
really a long time.
Do you have any tricks for that, or you?
He's a super strict sleeper, meaning he really enjoys sleeping.
Yeah. He's like 10 hours to 11 hours a night. He likes to sleep.
A good sleep?
No, I'm a good sleeper.
Wow.
The only big problem I have is that I don't sleep in planes. For some reason, I struggle to sleep in planes, which I spend a lot of time. So I need to take the planes by day so I can stay awake and all of these kind of things. But again, that is part of planning. Diet, I've got a dietitian in Milan that is following me and sending me all the diet requirements. I used to have something very repetitive, which then you get bored of. Now it's a lot more diverse, so it's very difficult to get into the details of.
I think he's TE FI as well. I agree with you. Like, he's just going through like the regiment, like the systematic thing that he has implemented within like reality and stuff, so concrete with SETE. I do think he's consistently building.
The potentiality is all in what's in front of him or what he has observed.
Yeah, a lot of SE, lots of that. All right, let's continue on.
Was always super honest with myself, with me. He was obviously harsh whenever things weren't going the way he wanted, or whenever he thought that there was a mistake that was to be made at that time of my career. But at the same time, incredibly happy whenever I won. You could really see how much it meant to him. So he was coming to every races, absolutely every races. But I will say he was a bit of a different father on races, because the father tends to be always with the kids on races and always be there and pushing them. And he was always doing a step back on that, trying to let me grow in my own environment with my engineers, with my mechanics, and get there at the end of the weekend and then have the discussion at the end of the weekend. Okay, I saw that this you should have done better, but this was amazing. And he was always super supportive. And also in difficult moments, I think that's all you need sometimes. The good person, a person that is obviously close to you, that only wants good from you, for you, and that tells you supportive words. And I knew that this was a huge help that then I lost when I lost my father. Obviously, there was still my mum, but my mum doesn't have the technical knowledge that my father had on racing. But it's super important. Doesn't define me as a person. I think in the world we are living now with social media, everybody can give their opinion super easily, and also people that don't know you personally. Yeah, I remember like 2 or 3 years ago, someone would say, "Oh, look how arrogant he is," and these are critics that really hurts me, because I know I'm not like this, and it's difficult to accept them when you are not really like that. And I remember that hurting me personally.
Yeah.
Then you always
There's the FI. There it is. Yeah, I figured this most replayed part was going to be good. So I went to it.
You got it.
Yeah. We'll continue on to a little bit more, and then we'll just conclude.
Critics on your driving, or if you do a mistake in a race or whatsoever, but this is part of the sport. This used to hurt me back, especially the first year in Formula 1, because you get from a Formula 2 driver where there are no media, nobody talks about you, you do a mistake, and only my mum or my dad will say, "Okay, Charles, you did a mistake there, it's not good." Where you get to Formula 1 and then you are in the spotlight of absolutely everything. You do a mistake and hundreds or thousands of people are speaking about it on social media, which it takes a bit of time to get used to. I remember the first year in Formula 1, I got into Formula 1, I was watching absolutely everything that people will say about me, because it was new for me. And then you get to learn to just make sure that you only value what people you love most think about me. And that is only what matters to me.
Yeah, and
whatever other sports in the world, you can train as much as you want.
You see the dangerous side of it. Like it's so well done, the movie. I've always been a fan. I wonder whether you're a fan of that movie or whether you're like, it's not like that at all.
No, I love it. I love it. I mean, I think it's a really good representation of what the sport was back then.
Yes. Not now, yeah.
And it was amazing to see how it was back then and how it is now, and how much everything has changed. And I also think that as much as today, when I say that I'm getting into the car and there's not one part of me that think about the danger, I really believe that 30, 40 years ago, that was completely different for the drivers back then. And they probably, I think it was the driver that was willing to get the closest to death that was the fastest, because they were so brave. The cars, I've driven old cars now, and there was no safety, like where they had the leg.
He's a done deal.
Yeah, okay. So Lewis is builder SITI, and then Charles is builder SETE. And now this is Carlos Sainz.
Life is hitting me hard for some reason in 2020. For some reason, they've decided this is my character building year. Someone up there has decided this is the year to give me a bit of a hard time. I need to fight back, and having to watch a race in the box with the team, I decided to walk into the paddock that day still limping. But
why did you want to come back and show your face that same day?
To sit down with my engineers and help Ollie to try and help the team. You guys decided I cannot continue with this thing, but I'm sure I'm going to show you my worth apart from just driving fast cars. I'm driving fast as I can. And I said, what can I do? I actually went to the paddock that day. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to see how my engineers communicate with Ollie, what kind of screens they're seeing, how are they saying things. And I'm actually going to be third engineer for them to maybe learn. If I was Ollie in the car, what kind of information I would need to get in this exact moment, and telling them, if this was me, I would need you to tell me this breaking point. I would need you to tell me this about strategy. And I use this as an opportunity to become better, to show to Ferrari, look, this is also what I do. The paddock, help the team, even if I know I'm not going to be here next year.
You know what? I'm going to show you how professional I am, how thoughtful I am. Was that the mindset?
For me, it was mainly professional side of things. I understand how a driver with a big ego maybe would like to turn Ferrari apart that year, become a bit political or become a bit of an infection inside the team.
Did you ever think about doing that?
Oh, of course. My demon, we all have an angel and a demon. And the demon is so many things I would like to say now or do or change. My angel was, let's say, more powerful at the time and said, no, don't be that guy. Be the professional guy, the guy that is just going to give absolutely everything until the last race for this team. Give everyone, the mechanics, everyone also that hasn't done hundreds, thousands of people working in that team that have nothing to do with that decision.
He's double attached extrovert. Either FESE or SEFE.
Yeah.
He's FESE. This is glorious.
Glorious? Why?
Because why? Allow me to name all of the reasons why people have shit on FE for so long as the one type that, they're so soft and they can't do much, and now there's 2 F1 champions that are FE. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, people don't understand the functions when they say that stuff. They're dumb.
I think they don't value it because they think it's they don't see the competency in the same way. But I'm shocked. I never actually heard him for too long, but yeah, he's definitely FE.
Yeah, he's on the FETI axis, and I'm pretty sure SE and I axis.
Yeah.
His archetype is a double attached type, so that's why I'm saying he's falling somewhere around guide, extroverted guide. We just got to hear more.
My maximum professional level and a good year for the team, for myself, for everyone. No? And I said I'm gonna be the professional guy, and I'm gonna be the good guy, not the one that wants to set this place on fire.
See, I love the fact that you were thinking about the wider team in your behavior, but also you could definitely sit here now and say things to us that would create some headlines or cause some problems for Ferrari. You know, this is a team telling you, oh, it's an easy contract, it'll take 2 hours, and then suddenly telling you you're out, right? But also, if you did do that, what does that do for you? How does that improve you and your career? Do you know what I mean?
We always take half an hour to fall asleep. You're having those conversations with yourself. But every year, every day of the year, how should I approach these? No, control yourself, be the good guy, and it's tough, but it's character building, as I said. And
Is Carlos saying that
came back after a...
What's he? What?
What?
What do you say?
Is he at 2?
Maybe, I don't know.
Potentially. Could be
Saying
an
I
image
have
type.
to be the good guys, like,
Yeah.
No,
who
This
cares?
image-
Why is he hammering on that so hard?
no, you're
There's
right.
strong image in him for sure. But you can almost kind of hear him setting a certain standard for himself as it relates to the collective.
Seeing that too, and I was thinking maybe like he has humbled ideation, so like TINI, humbled ideator. So like when he was like,
100%.
okay, I'm not able to perform the way that I would like to, so what can I do as a way to like improve myself, take this opportunity to change it from like a sucky situation to something to learn from. And he decided to ask questions and see what people are doing so he can like think about like what could go wrong, what would I do in this situation, kind of thing, where he'd start to ideate on like different possibilities and like how he should handle those situations. I think he's probably an FE Dom.
I want to hear more.
Okay. Continue on.
And I also think that I missed gigs typing.
Missed my what?
I missed you typing people.
Oh. Thanks.
It's a bliss.
I'm going pretty fast, I guess. We already got through 3 people. It's only been like an hour.
Don't worry. Again, my comment for that, it's a bliss.
I'm glad I can be helpful. Alright, I'm going to continue on. I'm probably going to jump around a bit more too, since I wanted to hear him a bit more for like a longer period of time instead of jumping, but I'm going to jump around a little bit more.
that appendix surgery and won that race, and I think I won it.
Are you able to understand why neither of those worked out?
Again, that's a frustration and a feeling that I was really struggling to put behind, because I could see at some point it was not happening. I could see and understand why, but I would still don't want to believe it, that it was not happening. And one of the reasons I took the decision so late was because I was still hopeful that maybe potentially I would still have a competitive car for 25, because that was one of the things I really wanted to do, is to win again in 25, to prove to everyone I still belong here for podiums and winning races. But that made things a bit more tricky, because during all those 3 or 4 months, I would sometimes get a hope that maybe one of these two teams was a possibility, but then another low, another hope, another low. That at the same time that I'm going to Monaco to race for Ferrari and going to my home Grand.
That's already right there. That sounds like he's doing mostly NI. He's like, I can see it not happening, but I'm still hopeful to things opening up. But I'm with how things are unfolding, he's seeing the trajectory of it not working out. But he himself does not want to believe that it's not going to work out. So he's like going back and forth between the two, like intuitive, like, oh, this could happen, oh, that could happen. But it's still NI mainly. The NE is just like in the background. It's not really the predominant intuition. Keep going.
In Spain to race for Ferrari. So in between those races, there was all these up and downs, and that is training for the athlete, for sure.
Was it stressful?
Very stressful. Yeah, I remember. I'm lucky that I don't get too affected in my sleep about these things. I always sleep my 6 to 8 hours, no problem. doesn't matter what's going on in my life. Sleep is something that still happens. But I remember I could tell my dad, my manager, even my mom called me more often than what she used to, like to ask me, "Are you okay with the latest news? Are you okay?" I mean, like, yeah, it's my girlfriend. She could see I was a bit more stressed, and everyone around me could tell. But I was like, "Don't worry, I'm okay. I can deal with it." But yeah, it was stressful.
Yeah. And Red Bull didn't happen because of your sort of history with Max and him not wanting you in the team?
This is what people have concluded, or what people are trying to, the way they would try to explain it or to understand it. The only thing I can say, you need to go and ask Christian or whoever you seem competent to answer this question. And the only thing I could say is I genuinely get on well with Max.
Yeah.
This is what people don't see from the outside. Like, we had a rivalry on our first year in Formula One in Toro Rosso, but it was a relatively healthy rivalry in terms of him and me, the way we used to go about racing. And now we get on really well. So if that's the reason, I don't understand why they wouldn't want me next to Max, because I think we would actually be a very strong pairing in Formula One.
Yeah, he's his type. He's definitely the mentor. He falls in line with mentor. Alright, that's another one down. So Lewis is legislator, Charles is mechanic, and this gentleman, Carlos, is the mentor. That makes sense.
Let me just get your opinion on one thing, Giggs.
Okay.
Really quick. Put down Fernando Alonso.
Okay.
No, we have Fernando Alonso. Put down Sebastian Vettel.
Wait. Hold up. What? You guys already have Sebastian?
We already have Sebastian, and we already have Alonso. Alonso, we don't have any questions. We have questions for Sebastian. Why are you going to Alonso? We heard that call. That's all we need. Yes. Sorry. It's just internal dispute.